Welcome back, everyone. Now in this video we're going to work on the background. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting out a little bit of oil, and I've given you the recipe right there. It's 50-50 stand and linseed oil. What I'm going to be doing here is taking the oil and brushing it onto the sky area. Very, very lightly, very thin application. And essentially what this is called is a oiling out process. So I'm just covering the entire canvas with the oil, just spreading it around with the brush, and getting a nice even coat all over the area that I'm going to paint today. And in this video we're only going to be focusing on the background, so that's where I'm going to stop. You can use any brush for this, really. I'm using a bristle brush here, but it also works really well to use a softer brush or even a sponge. Cosmetic sponges work really well. Okay, so here we're mixing up the color for the sky, and I'm doing a quick test there to determine whether or not its value is correct, and I actually wanted it to be a little bit darker. So I'm toning it down a little bit here. I'm going to check it again. And that looked good, so I'm just going to keep going and cover the top, I don't want to say the top half, but the top area of the sky with this color here. I decided that I wanted to completely replace the background to give it more of a complementary contrast to the finished bird, which is going to have a nice orange head. And I thought that the background being too busy was going to take away from my subject, so I made the executive decision to just cover the entire thing with a nice blue, cloudless sky. And it's great because I have the ability to do it after allowing the painting to sit for a great length of time here. This is definitely a little bit later than I had anticipated finishing the painting, but needless to say, it is completely dry, and I've had quite a bit of time to look at it and think about it, and I decided that it needed a brighter, more simplified background. I didn't want anything distracting back there. So what I'm doing is I'm gradually lightening the value as I come down to the bottom. The end result of this will be that the top of the sky above the bird is going to be darker than the horizon. It should be definitely noticeably lighter toward the horizon. So what I've done is I've taken ultramarine blue there, titanium white, and I've started with that at the top of the sky, and as I work down, I'm adding more and more white to the color, and I'm also adding a small amount of cobalt teal, which is that lighter blue you see there. So the colors in the sky are pretty simple. I've got ultramarine blue, cobalt teal, titanium white, and here and there I threw in a touch of burnt umber just to knock it down a little bit just to knock it down a little bit at the top. The burnt umber will essentially neutralize it, so you don't want to add too much, but a very small amount will take a little bit of the deep blue punch out of it and just tone it down so that it looks more natural. At least to me, anyway. Just about finished here. I'm going to go through and get in between the bird's legs and maybe tighten up a little bit here and there, and then we're going to move on and work on the bird's head. So with that, I'm going to close out this video. We'll see you in the next section.